All right, so this whole entire giveaway from the get-go has been planned for us to insert a completely murdered out Corvette C8. So it's a 2020 Corvette C8 that we are giving away, along with a completely murdered out 2021 Chevrolet 2500 High Country Duramax. So the plan was to have two completely murdered out vehicles that are gonna go to two separate people. So you're seeing this video, this is the overview video. If you are watching this before August 20th, then you still can get entered to win this Corvette. So from August 12th to August 20th, every single order placed on lgnsupplyco.com not only gets you entered into the giveaway for the High Country, it also gets you the chance to win this Corvette. So at the end of the day, you could very well win a High Country or a Corvette. So if you have already entered for the High Country, you're good. You're entered in for the High Country. But if you do want to enter one more time, you will get more entries for the High Country, and you get the chance to win this badass 2020 Corvette C8. So let's go over it. So this was actually my personal car. I actually ordered this car early 2020 when they first released the C8s. But then COVID hit and backed everything up, and I didn't actually get the car until November. So I've had the car since last November. It's an amazing car. It drives awesome. It looks amazing, not from factory. So the car was pretty ugly from factory, and me being me, I always need to make everything look up to par and in my specs of what I think looks good. And I think that this is the absolute best looking, or at least the absolute best that a C8 can look. So we did quite a bit of work to the exterior. We didn't do too much performance, but we'll get into that as well. But let's start off with the exterior. So these Corvettes, actually all Corvettes, no matter what color the car is, instead of doing black accents, anything that's black or looks black is not actually black. So for instance, this center piece of the front bumper was not black from factory. That it might look black from far away. It's not black. It's actually a dark metallic gray. I wanted to completely murder this car out. I wanted a completely murdered car to look like a ghost at night, and that's what we accomplished. So all of that gray metallic is now painted gloss black. And on top of that, these cars are very tall from factory. Like, I would say where the top of this fender line is right here, that's where the that's like the bottom of the fender from factory. So it's about 2 to 3 inches taller than this from factory. And then the stock wheels that came on this car, I didn't really care. I actually custom ordered the car to my exact spec. So you'll see when we get into the interior. The interior has red seat belts like I wanted. And yeah, but basically I got the factory wheels, the lowest factory spec wheels, because I knew I was gonna have these Vossens on it in the near future. So yeah, they're Vossen 20 in the front, 21 in the back, Vossen HF3. And at the time, Vossen did not have any gloss black wheels in stock or matte black. And I was like, all right, what do we do? We always find a way around it. So I ordered up the wheels in, I believe it was silver, brought them to our powder coater, sandblasted them, powder coated them gloss black. And like I said, we were going for the complete gloss black look on this car. There's no matte black, it's all complete gloss black. And then of course we have Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's in the front and rear. So the car has complete KW coilovers. It's not just lowering springs. It does ride amazing. I say amazing too much. It does ride great. Headlights opened up, painted the reflector black. Normally we open up the headlights, we paint everything black, but these headlights did come pretty much completely blacked out, minus that orange reflector. So odds are, if you see one of these cars completely blacked out, the headlights, I guarantee you they missed out, and they did not do that, because it's the small details that matter. And luckily for me, we know how to build headlights in house, so we do on every single vehicle. So this little fang piece too, I mean, when you open up the door, it's a massive fang. That's why I call it fang. But anyways, that piece comes in that metallic gray that I was talking about. So that is not painted. That's actually wrapped gloss black. Come to the back. We have tinted taillights, completely murdered out. Can't see the reverse lights. Lucky for you, the camera is very good. The reverse camera. And then of course, if you do not know by now, GM on most of their brand new vehicles have the rear view camera. Well, the digital rear view camera. So instead of having the mirror, you have a digital rear view, and then the camera for that is right up here. It's, I mean, when I say it's crystal clear, it is literally crystal clear, night and day. So it's awesome. All right, so another huge piece of plastic that was metallic gray that we didn't want metallic gray. Another thing, if you see an all black C8, most likely they did not paint that metallic gray. They left it because they think it looks okay. Again, we wanted to make sure this thing was completely murdered out. So this massive diffuser on the bottom of the rear bumper was metallic gray, and that comes all the way up to here. So basically on the stock cars, this is all gloss black, and then from here down, it's all that metallic gray. It does not look good at all. And then these little vents right here were also metallic gray. Those are painted gloss black now as well. So the wing, I didn't want to go with a crazy wing, and I'm not a fan of the stock wings whatsoever. So we went with a duckbill Racing Sport Concepts carbon fiber wing. I'm also not too crazy about carbon fiber in general. So this is the only piece of carbon fiber on the car. It's just a nice small touch, and it's just enough. As far as for the rest of the aero on the car, Aerodynamics, we have Atomic 6 carbon side skirts, and these things are awesome. The stock side skirt actually comes in at an angle, and then it goes back out. This one just makes it a nice flat side skirt. Then you have this little wing on the side to give it that aggressive look. And then again, Atomic 6 carbon on the front. So the lip and the side skirts are both fiberglass. Those came to us painted in that metallic gray, and I was like, oh. So we got those painted in gloss black as well. I mean, it's not too crazy, but the tints are obviously exterior. Is it interior or is it exterior?
I mean, you see it from the outside.
You see it from the outside. So 35% on the windshield, 5% on the sides. That's pretty much as dark as I like to go on cars, because when you're that low and the windshield's really slanted, you want to see, especially when you're going fast. Whoever wins this is going to have a great time. I'm kind of upset that I'm getting rid of it, but one person is going to enjoy it a lot more than I ever did. All right, so the brake rotors are gyro disc slotted rotors. They're high performance rotors. I mean, I think those things were like $2,000 for the set, and that's just rotors, no pads, no calipers, no nothing. It stops way better than the stock rotors do, and it looks better. And that's another thing that a lot of people tend to miss with their C8s. I mean, like I said, you look at this thing and you want to see everything that's done to it without having to like go too far into it. You know what I mean? So you see the brakes from the outside, you see the wheels from the outside, you see all the gloss black from the outside. Everything that's visible to the eye has been made to look good. Performance-wise, since we already talked about the brakes, we have a Fab Speed exhaust. Full Fab Speed exhaust, sounds amazing. It is a non-valvetronic exhaust, keep in mind. So the valves are always open. In other words, it's always loud. So this is as loud as it gets. Honestly, from the inside of the car, it is not that loud. It doesn't drone. It's not going to annoy you. You can talk to people. That's not going to be given away. Don't worry. So yeah, it doesn't drone that loud inside the car. If you want to talk to the person next to you, you could. That thing, that's another story. Diesel trucks with a straight pipe, that's another story. This thing is very quiet on the inside. Is it loud from the outside? I don't really know, because I've never really been outside of the car hearing it. But I've heard many times it is quite loud from the outside, and it sounds good. It does not sound like the old Corvettes though, since it's mid-engine. Different engine. Honestly, I'm not a crazy fan of the sound, but it does sound good. And again, everything about this car, everything that's done to it, all the pictures, detailed inside, outside shots are all on our website. If you go to the current giveaway page, you can see everything that's done to the car and all the close-up pictures, if this isn't enough for you. Real quick, and of course it's got the T-top just to show you how quick this thing comes off, so you can get a tan in the middle of the summer. Let's show you. There's two handles in the top in the front, and there's one in the back. That's it, and then you can pull it off, and then back down, put your visors back, flip it back, and that's it. And then this actually goes in your trunk. So I'm not 100% sure if all of these cars come with carbon fiber. Please forgive me for that. But we do have carbon fiber on the door panels. Your little switch panel is carbon fiber. Your dash trim is carbon fiber. Your mode selector, which is pretty cool. It changes your dash completely because it's a 100% digital dash. This is track.
That's track.
Oh, it says down here, sport. Completely missed that. So this is sport. Tour, which is technically economy. So that's really the only way that you could change the exhaust note. It just increases the RPMs ever so slightly in the higher modes. The dash itself, or the interface, is awesome. It has the CarPlay. Can't go wrong with CarPlay. You have to be plugged into the USB cable, but CarPlay, have your Waze up, see where the cops are at. You're gonna wanna have some fun. You gotta know where all the construction is and how to avoid it and all that. So you have CarPlay to do that. And again, like I said, custom ordered. So I did the black and red. It's got the red seat belts. More carbon fiber on the seats. And my favorite part about this car, honestly, is the interior. It's a very, very comfortable car to drive. It's not too fast, it's fast. It's not too fast. It's not slow by any means, and it handles great. But the drive from the inside, from the cockpit, is awesome. And you know what? The passengers get a pretty sick view too. So yeah, you're gonna have a good time if you're in the passenger side of this car. Kind of feels like you're trapped in because every single button to control anything on this car is down a line. And you'll get the hang of it pretty quick. When I say you, I'm literally saying you because one of you is going to win. Took me a little while to get a hang of that. There's a lot of buttons. But back to what I was saying. The best thing about this car is the sound system. It's incredibly loud, incredibly clear. And honestly, it's the best sound system out of any of the cars that I have. And it's Bose. And normally Bose isn't too great. They're known for their bass. But honestly, every single note in this car is just crisp. So as I was saying, the top, when you take it off, it gets stored in the back. And let's take a look at the engine bay real quick while we're here. So if you don't have your top off, you have quite a bit of space back here to put whatever you want in it. Honestly, I've gone on a few shopping sprees in this thing, and it handled it great. So you have a trunk if you don't have your top off. If you do have your top off, you really can't fit anything back here. You might be able to fit a few bags, but not much. You don't want to put anything back there when you have the top back there. It'll end up scratching the paint on that. So you have your trunk, engine bay, pretty cool, right? And this did have the, I did option it for the LEDs in here, which is pretty cool as well. It's an option from Chevy to add LEDs to showcase your engine bay. And I believe it's also an option to paint that red. It definitely is, yeah. So that was an option. Wanted the red, got the red. Now one of you is gonna have the red. So as I said, good space back there, but honestly, the front trunk is quite spacious. You can fit quite a bit of space up here. It's comparable to a Ferrari. Lambo fronts are very small, but this is just about the same as a Ferrari. And honestly, if you're doing anything that you can't fit in your trunk or your frunk on this thing, then you probably just shouldn't be using it for that. Safe to say. And when you close the hood, the best way to do it would be with your shirt, but use your knuckle. Don't use your hand, at least then you only get your knuckle print. So anyways, gorgeous car, my personal car, but now it is going to go to one of you. That gets entered within the final 8 days of the giveaway. So if you have not gotten entered to win our 2021 High Country Duramax, that comes with $40,000 in cash, now might just be the time to do it because you also have the chance to walk away with this thing. So like I said, if you don't win the truck, you still have a chance to win the Corvette. If you don't win the Corvette, you still have a chance to win the truck. 2 vehicles, 2 winners, 2020 Corvette C8 or a 2021 High Country Duramax. You're not gonna win if you don't get entered, so I will click that link in the description or just type it out, lgndssupplyco.com. Grab anything on the website, like this shirt, which is, I wore it because it's all black, or anything else on the website and you're automatically entered. But make sure you do it before August 20th because that is the deadline. And I promise you, you do not want to miss out on this opportunity because one lucky person is going to win. I say it all the time, just get entered, okay? Click that link in the description, type it in, get yourself entered, and hopefully I'll be handing you the keys to this thing or the High Country very soon. I'll see you next overview. Peace.